365 Never Ending Fight Health Talk. And my guest today is Sharon Hardy um, from Hoxworth Blood Center. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Sharon Hardy. I'm a blood donor recruiter with Hoxworth Blood Center. And for those of you who don't know Hoxworth Blood Center, we are the sole suppliers of blood and components to the tri-state area. We um, provide blood to 30 hospitals, about 30, 31 hospitals, 17 counties in the tri-state area. We provide the blood that helps save lives um, in those areas.
Okay. We have a blood drive coming up November the 24th here at 1717 Section Road. You come in, check in at Suite 217. But we're having a blood drive in honor of sickle cell anemia. Just a few questions. What's the criteria for donors who want to donate? What's the criteria?
Okay, so the criteria is you must be at least 17 without parental consent, but 16-year-olds can donate, but they have to have a parental consent form, and that can be found online at hoxworth.org. Must weigh at least 110 pounds, generally in good health. Um, Anyone taking any medications, medical conditions, any eligibility questions, we refer those to our appointment center, 513-451-0910. And there's also, other stipulations for anyone between the age of 16 and 18. Um, Females can donate once a year between 16 and 18, and males can donate twice a year, being um, between 16 and 18 years old.
Okay. Um, let's go back to when I first met you, Sharon. For those people who doesn't know, I met Sharon Hardy back in, I want to say '05, if I'm not mistaken. I was sick one time. I was in the hospital. I had pneumonia in both of my lungs. And my doctor told me, she said, D'Angelo, if you don't breathe, uh, basically, it's a wrap for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I started breathing. I fractured 5 ribs just for breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But I prayed on it. And I told God, I said, you know what? If I make it out of this one, everything I do is going to be for sickle cell anemia.
Mm-hmm.
And I reached out through Children's Hospital, and somehow, some way, we linked up. Mm-hmm. We did a photo shoot up at Eden Park.
Mm-hmm.
Which was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And after the photo shoot, we had a great talk,
mm-hmm.
and I walked away with a job. So it was a blessing. So we go way back.
Yeah.
So everything I do from here on out is for sickle cell anemia. This is what this is all about. 365 Health Talk. It's therapeutic for me for one, because coming up, I was never the type of child to speak on sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
I was the I hid it because the neighborhood I grew up in, if they see anything of signs of weakness, they will attack it. So I had a few fights with people from the folks who did find out I had it. So, but Health Talk, I'm at the stage in my life to where I was screaming from the mountaintop because it takes us to bring the awareness,
right.
About sickle cell. So everything I do now is from sickle cells here on out. 365 Never Ending Fight. We a nonprofit. We a nonprofit where we mentor young adults with sickle cell. We also deal with other chronic pain, not just sickle cell. But like I said, we coach them on pain. We teach them about their opponent, how to fight against their opponent. I also have a mental health therapist that I partnered up with called Healing Connections. It's just another entity that I brought services to 365 to help kids with sickle cell.
Okay.
But blood drive is what we're here for. I have a lot of friends that receive transfusions as a means of treatment, and this is why I do the blood drives. I know I work for Hoxworth probably 7 years, about 7 years, about 4 years. It's been another minute, ain't it?
It's been a while.
It's been a while since I worked there, but I never stopped doing blood drives. So I have a friend. She's working on her 300th transfusion.
Wow.
And in other words, she need blood to survive. She need blood to go to work, get out of bed, be a a friend, a boss, a employee, basically just to do everyday things
Mm-hmm.
in life.
Therapy.
So exactly. So this is what we're here for. So for the blood drive. Just a few more things. Why do you think it's important for minorities to donate uh, blood?
Well, one thing, just want to speak on your passion for um, being a fighter, for a fighter and a messenger and a face on sickle cell. I've known you 4 years, and I've seen even before your organization came about, you were committed. And even hearing today helps me to understand the history of of um, of knowing you, and now I understand even clearer that um, the need for blood is a passion for you. Sickle cell, educating about sickle cell is a passion for you, and so I appreciate being able to have met you and met your son,
Yeah,
years ago, and becoming friends, and we connected then, and so I saw your fight then. I saw your fight even before you was an employee with Hoxworth. Your fight to help people to understand what sickle cell is and how it affects and impacts people's life. A lot of times, if we're not walking in and it's not our story, we don't understand. We understand from feeling, feeling,
right.
hearing, talking to you and feeling you, but you walk it, you understand it. And so I'm grateful to have met you and to be able to put that, in my suitcase and be able to, you are one of the persons when I get up and I have a challenging time, like I don't feel like going to work today. You, one of the faces, the cycle in my head, you got to go, you have to do it. And so Hoxworth Blood Center has, for quite a few years, a double digit of years, committed to increasing education and the awareness about the need for more minority blood donors.
Mm-hmm.
And so for years, and it's still a fight, it's still a struggle,
Mm-hmm.
it's still a challenge to get people to understand. But what we have been able to do is to put a face on the need for blood. A lot of times people need a face on a need, and so we're able to identify sickle cell disease as um, a need, a face to put on the need for more minority blood donors. And the reason is someone with sickle cell disease, when they need a blood transfusion, is more successful and their body is less apt to reject it if it comes from someone who looks like them. And that's the case in any, not just in the need for more African Americans to donate blood, but period. Any blood transfusion is more successful if it comes from someone who looks like them. The challenge has been is our blood supply is not is not as diversified as our community. And so what we're doing is using sickle cell, to put a face on the need for more African American donors. Um, and so we're going to do the blood drive on Tuesday, November 24th here from 11 to 5. And so our goal is to increase education, awareness. That's what make people move when they're educated. When you know better, you can do better, or when you know better, you have more information to make a decision that's impactful for the knowledge that you have received. And so that's how I see that sickle cell has been able to really help us to do that. I know we've been working together. I've seen the difference. I've been in House for 36 years. I've been a field recruiter for 18, 19 of those years. And so I've seen the difference when we implemented more education, more awareness. Um, you and I have been able to have some successful blood drives. When
Yeah.
you were at Fortis College, we had did blood drives at Fortis College for years, and still to date, that's the best blood drive that we ever had at Fortis College. When you went around and you were the face, you were not
Yeah.
ashamed. You had, overcame the obstacle of being younger and hiding from it. Now you're like, your commitment that you made, on your bed, from here on, I'm committing to sickle cell. You've been able to do that, and it's made a difference. We've went to high schools and spoke to high school students, and I do the presentation about Hoxworth and help people to understand it. Then I'm go, if this is the reality, while we're here today. And so, it definitely helps to have a face. That education is key. That education is key, and so we hope to continue to do that. I'm working with one of my peers, Jackie Marshall. She works with our PR department, and she's kind of new to the, she's kind of one of our babies. She's been with us a little over a year, and so she's finding her space and her face in the place. Come say hi. Finding her space and her in the place, and so she and I have been brainstorming, just talking about some things. So one of her goals as the role that she plays is how can she use her role, her position? How can Hoxworth be more inclusive, not just February, April, and September? She's looking to see how do we create an avenue where every month, all year round, that it becomes a part of our message. The need for blood, and then the unique need for African Americans. Jackie, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jackie Marshall. I work in our PR department over at Hoxworth. So I'm really excited to be part of this initiative and being around two of you who are in this every single day. I know it's really exciting to listen to these stories.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see the journey you make with Hoxworth.
It's going to be good.
So I'm looking forward to working with you as well.
It's going to be good.
I want to speak more as a recipient too, because I'm also a recipient of blood.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Speak to that.
I had a full blood exchange where they take all 16 pints out, right? So, and the crazy part about that is, while they was doing it, they was feeding me Tums because lack of calcium. So when they take all your blood out your body, even though they're doing it simultaneously, it's not like they take it out and I'm empty.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It may sound crazy, but it's like, I have an access on my left and access on my right. But it was crazy, actually. But I was cured of sickle cell for like 2 weeks. So, I had energy that I, could dream of now. But, it's just a need for blood. It's a need for blood. And it's also what I did for Hoxworth for so many years. I started off at the call center, moved from the call center, started I think it was Michael Anderson. We flew out to Denver. We did some taping out there of me telling my story as a recipient, me giving thanks to people who do donate. Speaking on the behalf of people who receive blood on a regular. So, but that was fun, and that was one of the tapes that we played at Woodward. And the power in that was, after I spoke to them 3 senior class, I had a little fella get up and say, "Man, you got sickle cell, right?" Yeah. He said, "Man, he had friends that's been knowing him since, pre-K. I mean, just at least 6th grade, easy. And when he gets sick, he would tell them that he's locked up versus being in the hospital. So that's how embarrassed he was of him having sickle cell. We know how easy it is to trip over a case, to jinx yourself rather than speak your truth. How embarrassed you really have to be to do that. But the power, when he saw, me being confident enough to get up there and speak and talk about it, it is what it is at this point. You live with it every day. Why not live in it? So
I remember I was there. I was there. He got sat in the back of the class, the whole thing, and at the end of the class, that was an impactful moment. I wish, we could, a moment, that we could have captured. And it is, there's because people don't understand, because there is not something that is not like diabetes or high blood pressure is not something that everyone has. So it's, even my niece who's in nursing school, she said in nursing school there was like a chapter on sickle cell. So there there's the education and the knowledge about sickle cell is going to come through. It comes through.
I was at Fortis College. I was there for heating and cooling. And before I graduated, I wanted to do a blood drive for Fortis College. So what I did was I walked around. I went to the nurses class. I went to the nurses class and spoke to the nurses students that's about to graduate on sickle cell, because my thing is if I could catch them coming out and try to educate them a little bit more on sickle cell, because we all know when we talk in the book, version of sickle cell. They more or less focus on pain and the drug that we take. So we get a lot of stigmas in that. But the positive side of the blood drive, for every student that donated, they got extra credit towards their grades at the end of the year.
That's a good incentive.
So that's why that blood drive. It's something that I had to negotiate with the dean.
Okay.
My grades was good enough to get it out.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But it was a beautiful thing. Even the first blood drive that I coordinated when I was no longer with Hoxworth. I don't know if you remember this, is Hawaiian Village.
Hawaiian Village, yeah. You got people
they got so much
money
off
out
of
their
their
rent
to donate. Right, that was crazy. Like, it was beautiful though, and that was a good turnout.
Send you the bat for me for some things.
So I tried it again at the one we did in February at the other property that I stayed at now. They wasn't going. So
okay,
yeah,
we ain't giving up though. We ain't giving up.
But we back at it again. But the most important part, what's the important part of the blood that, or is there is an important part of the blood that people with sickle cell benefit from?
The part that sickle cell patients benefit from, first of all, one blood donation is equivalent of a pint. So 1 pint of blood, has the potential to save at least 3 lives. So out of that 1 pint of blood, once the blood is collected, then it's taken back to the laboratories and it's tested. Then it's processed. Processed meaning that it's broken down into the 3 different components. The blood's safe to be transfused, then it goes through the process. So we get a red cell, we get a plasma, we get a platelet. So the part that's beneficial to sickle cell patients is red cells, because sickle cell patients, because what sickle cell is, which I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm going to say this anyway, is when the red cells, like normal red cells, round, soft like a donut, just kind of go through the body, do their thing, carry the oxygen, do their thing. But someone with sickle cell, when their red cells, they become misshaped and sickle like a cell. So, the pain, the pain and the damage that it can do to one's organs, where, you yourself have had to have
2 metal hips, metal shoulder.
Yeah. So, from the impact of having this, the sickle cells. So, 1 blood donation can save up to 3 lives. So our goal on that day is to, because we are adhering to the safety requirements, CDC, we're not able to see as many people through a donor bus as we usually are, but we will have the ability to schedule up to 34, 35 people. And our goal is to leave with 20 to 25 units of blood, being able to save at least, if we get 20 units, we can save 60, potential to save 60 patient lives. If we get 25, we can save 75 patient lives. But our goal is to reach our goal, so that we will be able to, especially this blood drive is right before the holidays. And so, the weather changing. So I understand from you and from other people I know that have sickle cell that the weather change really it impacts, your body, and can set off crises. And so, this is a good thing going into the holidays. But red cells, is what patients with sickle cell benefit from. And we do have, and we're not able to do it on the buses now, but we do have an automated donation, automated red cells, where we're able to get 2 red cells, and then a person gets back their plasma and their platelets. So we're not collecting 2 pints of blood. Where sometimes people, I know I'm not giving 2 pints. We're not getting 2 pints of blood. We're just getting 2. It's actually almost less than a pint. But it's also as effective for someone getting transfused. Where if you needed a blood transfusion, if you needed 2 units of red cells, you're getting those 2 units, those 2 units from one person, as opposed to getting 1 red cell from John Doe and then Jane Doe, so you're not, mixing, which is still safe, but, our goal was, safety and health, for all of our patients, our donors first. Our goal is to make sure they're healthy and things like that. So being at least 17, weighing at least 110 pounds, being able to, get our young people out. Let's get them out, get them, started on donating blood. Let's educate them about it so that they can begin to be altruistic givers. People talk about ourselves as youth and young people now, but actually, our high schools before this pandemic made up 13, 14 thousand units a year at least that we bring into, so they're not in school now.
Right.
They're not in school, so some are, but we've had to cancel so many blood drives. So it would be awesome if people would consider, bring, schedules, sign up to donate, and bring your 16-year-old. Let us get a parental consent form. I'll get some of those to you that you can have, because they have to be filled out before they get on the bus. Bring the young people. This is right before a season that people are getting. This is right a couple of days before Thanksgiving. So, let's get them started, started on a good path now, so that in the years to come, that our message won't have to be that, there's a unique need that just as Jackie is working to make it an inclusive message to educate, if we start getting them going now and younger, the unique need, it won't be unique, it'll be inclusive. It'll just be a part of the message, and the blood supply will be what it needs to be for everybody, to
My
be able
nephew,
to
he
live.
donated the past two blood drives that we just held. So
Wow.
he's 17. He come out and donate on my behalf.
Wow.
So that's why I was telling people too,
That's
for this
it.
blood drive right here, if you want to donate on someone else's behalf, we also put it on our website. So, for example, we say somebody say you want to come donate on my behalf, you can come and say I'm Sharon Hardy, I'm donating on D'Angelo's behalf. So I mean, it's just another way to show support.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to show that you really support someone, or
Yeah.
I mean, why not? If
Yeah.
you're gonna donate anyway, might as well list the name
That's
of
it.
someone who that can benefit
That's it.
from their
Yeah.
blood. So I had a few
And
more questions
And
now.
one thing I want to
Okay.
interject just real fast.
Uh,
I know we've been talking about the blood drive, but this is also a fundraiser,
yes.
because
Crucial.
365 Never Ending Fight is 501c3,
Yes. Nonprofit.
and so a nonprofit organization, and so um, it's a great opportunity, because if you can't donate blood, because the whole thing is being committed to helping save lives. And so Hoxworth Blood Center, that's our goal, ensuring a safe and adequate blood supply, helping to save lives close to home, is our goal. But the thing that everyone can do something. Everyone listening to this today, everyone can do something. If you're not able to donate blood, if you're fearful of it, support 365 Never End the Fight. You're not in this, and I know this because I know you. Besides this, you're not in this for. It's not. This is not about the money for you,
No.
but you need money to operate. This office does not
No.
run on.
Gotta
This
say that.
office does not run on the electricity.
Never believe it.
But there's funding needed for it. So and nothing is too small. If people listen to this, share it. Just keep sharing it. And if share it 20,000 times, and if everybody listen to it, give $1. That's $20,000. That's a couple years towards the rent. That's opportunity for you to do more outreach, to
Yes.
do
Yes.
more team building with the people that are being mentored
Yeah.
through this.
That's some
So
more support that we can provide to the families that's caregivers to a sickle cell patient.
yeah.
Not even just sickle cell. Once again, like I said, we don't just coach sickle cell patients. We deal with all chronic illness, mental health. So once again, if you see at the bottom of the screen, you see the Cash App, which is $365 NEF Foundation. You can go there to donate, or you can look at the website that's scrolling on the bottom. You can also go on there to donate. If you want to mail in a check, address 1717 Section Road, Suite 217, Cincinnati, Ohio 45237. Charmaine, 37 area code,
Zip code.
zip code. 37. I was right. Okay, gotta say that. Gotta say say that. Okay, but yeah, like I said, we are in need of funds. So, like I said, if you don't want to donate blood, you can donate. Like Sharon said, no donation is too small. But if you want to ball all the way out, you can donate blood and
That's right. There
we
you
call them
go.
all
Yeah,
stars. So,
yeah.
why not ball all the way out?
Double
It's for a
double
great
duty.
cause. Yes, yeah, we're doing some
Okay.
giveaways as well. So,
Okay.
just come out and enjoy, learn something about 365. Come check us out. And like I said, we reaching out to different entities in the city to collab with. So you will see my face popping up on somebody's doorstep. So, but just a few questions. Back when I was working with Hoxworth, and I heard every reason not to donate. Needles. The needle part kind of get me. I'm kind of biased because dealing with sickle cell, I have been stuck in one session at least 13, 15 times. So when somebody tell me a needle and I see a tattoo like ear piercing, so it's kind of like, oh, come on now. Like, don't wait till you need it. And then now you're calling Hoxworth later. I'm going to do a blood drive. Like, why not plant them seeds and build relationships now?
Just being proactive. Yeah.
But some of the stigmas, now, we all know about the Tuskegee study, right? We all know about the syphilis study where I have heard that a lot of reasons why they don't want to,
mistrust in the medical.
Yes, it's a lot of disconnect in the Black community with the medical field. I mean, just donating blood, going to the hospitals. But what would you say to that for people who feel like they cannot trust Hoxworth or any medical field, part of the medical community?
What I would say to that is the reason to do it is right before their face. I understand the mistrust, but not only do I know you through Hoxworth Blood Center, I have met people, other African Americans that are my family that have become my friends that have gotten blood transfusions, and blood transfusions have saved their lives. Blood transfusions from right here in our community, saving lives close to home. That's become kind of a message that Hoxworth is trying to get out there, but it's a reality. I know that there's a mistrust, but just think about the people that you may never ever meet that look like you, their lives are being saved. And just consider this: donating blood, the needle, the fear. I understand that everybody has their fears. Some we can overcome, some we can't. But if you think about this, one one needle stick, one needle stick, because once the needle is in your arm, there's the pain. Right. So the pain is from the stick. That one needle stick will give someone years of life. That one needle stick can help save up to 3 people's lives. And just know that I've been in house for 36 years. I know, being an African American, I know many, many, many African Americans' lives that have been saved. I have a niece who has lupus, and I'm sitting there at the hospital. She had surgery, and she was in recovery. We went up to the room, and we all sitting around talking, and all of a sudden I look over at her, and then she just started looking like she was going down a little bit, and I'm thinking like, oh, it's probably just from the surgery. And when the doctor comes in, they order her blood. Her red cells were low. So I was literally there to see her going down, the doctor ordering the blood, and I stayed there long enough where I literally saw the life coming back in her from a blood transfusion. My niece is African American. She's still alive today. So, I know sometimes we can't get over the mistrust, and I understand because my experience of mistrust may not be what someone else's is, but I would just encourage you to find someone. If you go to a church, if you on your job, there's probably someone who looks like you that have received blood or have a family member or friend and they're alive today. So, consider getting more information.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Like I said, it's like I used to tell people when I was out in the field back in the day working with Hoxworth. One, I used to tell my own story. So, but one thing I used to let them know too, even though by me being a recipient, I can receive blood from any body with any ethnic background, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
But somebody that looks like me, like my blood, my body is less likely to reject blood from someone that looks like me.
there's a reason
So
right
that's
there.
the reason why we need more minorities to donate. I'm not
There's
saying
a
that
reason.
any other ethnic background our body gonna resist, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's possible. Anything is possible, but
Hmm.
I'm just saying we need more minorities to donate
Yes,
for
we
that
do.
reason alone. And I'm not just
Hmm.
saying for sickle cell. I mean anybody with a chronic illness, a chronic accident. It don't have to
Right.
be sickle cell. It could
Right.
be
Anyone who needs a
yeah
blood
anybody.
transfusion.
You know, women having babies. Sometimes they need blood.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can lose a lot of blood during birth or something like that, or surgeries, car accidents, or anything that receive blood.
Right.
So it's not
Right.
just sickle cell.
Right.
Sickle cell is just the base what we're doing, the
It's
blood
yeah.
drive.
It's a face.
You
It's
know,
a
yeah,
reality. We all
yeah,
know someone,
yeah.
or who knows someone who knows someone.
Right,
You know
exactly.
that has
So
sickle
that's why I
cell.
say, just come out once again, 365 Never in a Fight, Health Talk Podcast. We are here today with Hoxworth, Sharon, speaking on, the blood drive we are holding here November the 24th from 11 to 5, which is a Tuesday. So come out. If you can't donate blood, go to the website. Make a donation because it is a fundraiser slash blood drive, and we are partnering up with the Roseline Business District.
Okay.
That's where my office is at.
Okay.
So, like I said, just come out, make a donation, cash or blood or both. If you want to ball out, we appreciate both. So don't be afraid to donate. If you have any questions, do your own research first. I would
Yeah.
tell anybody do your research. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with donating blood. I asked about the stigmas because when I was in the field, I heard
Hmm.
everything.
Oh yeah, you. Oh yeah,
I mean, I heard it
you
all.
still get it. Oh
you
yeah.
know,
I mean,
so
you. I mean, it's there. It's just like so many things that's passed down from generation to
yeah,
generation. And so until, like you say, you do your own research and get your own information and your
yeah,
own truth.
yeah,
You'll stay in that. Not knowing, and your decision will always be based on what someone told you as opposed to
yeah.
what you know. And so, donate, donating blood is important.
Oh yeah.
It is so important. It saves lives every single day. In our community, there is someone getting life-saving blood transfusion. There's another girl, and then I'm going to let you go. Another girl I know that has um, the challenge of not having blood here.
Mm,
I know a girl that she's on our board now, Carla, that a couple 2 to 3 years ago at the most, she had a sickle cell crisis.
mhm.
She was in the hospital. There was no blood here.
Yeah.
She had to wait 96 hours
Mhm.
for some blood to be shipped here
Oh yeah.
to our community.
Mhm.
She could have died in those 96 hours.
Yeah.
And so that's the reality. A lot of times, like for me, when she shared that, I was like, wow, and that connected me and her. So we, kind of still are connected. So, the reality is it is a need, and it's not about color. It's about need.
Yeah.
Hoxworth Blood Center, we need blood every day. We need at least 400 units of blood every day and platelets every day.
Yeah.
And just think, if only a small portion of that every day, you're looking at probably 5% or so of that blood is coming in every day, 5 if 10% of that coming from African American. That's a disparity.
Yeah. You gotta say
That's a
that.
disparity.
I do agree.
And that, and that's a disparity that we can help take care of. And,
Yeah.
again, thank 365. Thank you, for the commitment that you made on your bed, on your
Mhm.
sick bed,
Mhm.
as a young man to do something. And you were told that you wouldn't live to see 30, and, you balling over that.
You gotta say that. Gotta say
And
that.
so,
Thank
so
God.
you are a prime living example
Yeah.
of what the necessity, the need, the essential part
And I'm gonna
of
tell you,
donating blood.
and I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna wrap up. One thing that sickle cell patients, when they get a transfusion, if it's not due to a surgery, it's most likely due to their hemoglobin dropping. See, my hemoglobin runs high. My hemoglobin runs like 14, 15, meaning that I'm not anemic. So, but when a sickle cell patient hemoglobin is dropped to 6, 7, they need a transfusion. Ain't no way around it. So that happens on the regular.
Okay.
You get some patients that's SS, SC hemoglobin, but SS hemoglobin they have low hemoglobin. I mean, yes, low iron, low hemoglobin. So
Okay.
their hemoglobin drops real low, 6, 7, or even lower than that, which is critical when you get to that point. They need blood. So I know what you mean when that lady was in a crisis and waiting that long for blood.
Yeah.
That's life and death.
Yes.
I mean, that's nothing to play
4
with.
days. That's like that.
Now, the reason I received transfusions was due to surgeries, due to hip replacements, shoulder replacements. I never needed blood due to complications of sickle cell. Well, I mean, I said that wrong. I did need blood due to complications of sickle cell, which was the hip replacement.
Okay, but not
Before dealing with hemoglobins dropping, I didn't need it for that.
Okay.
So I am a recipient, and I tell everybody, like I said, do your research, man. Do your research, look it up, ask questions, and like I said, don't wait till you need blood. Don't wait till someone that's close to you need blood, and you want to reach out and start planting them seeds and building them relationships. The time to do it is now, which is November 24th, from 11 to 7, from 11 to 5. I said 11 to 7. From 11 to 5 at 1717 Section Road. You can go to my website. The link will be there within like a week or so. Within like
we got the flyer.
Okay.
Once we get the draft done, I should say it should be in by Monday. You should be able to post a flyer with all the information about the blood drive, the fundraiser. All of that information is on there. Even your website is on there to make the monetary.
So y'all heard it yourself. The link and the flyer will be ready at least by Monday. You can go in and pick your time. You can come out, donate. We're going to have food trucks, other vendors, get some information. You want to be a vendor, reach out. You can go to my website. You can email me, either or. But come on down and support. Once again, it's a fundraiser/blood drive. But we're going to wrap it up. This is 365, Never Ending Fight, Health Talk. I appreciate you, Sharon. Appreciate you.
No problem. Remember, save lives close to home.
You got to say that. All right, y'all be easy. All right, now.